Planning a hen party or bachelorette weekend in Spain can quickly become a sea of predictable themes, mismatched decorations, or designs that don't capture the real beauty of this destination. If you're dreaming of celebrating in Marbella and you want your weekend to feel completely sun-drenched, elegant, and completely unforgettable, then this video is most definitely for you. During my recent summer in Marbella, I captured everything that makes this destination so special. The whitewashed streets, fruit-laden orange trees in Orange Square, intricate cobalt-blue Spanish tiles, poolside afternoons, and those Aperol moments beneath the Spanish sun. I then transformed those little details into my Marbella Sun Collection, an elegant bachelorette design filled with hand-drawn doodles and delicate splashes of orange and cobalt blue. By the end of this video, you will see how the traditional beauty of Spain and the playful excitement of a girls' weekend in Marbella came together in one complete, unique collection, and how it could inspire every detail of your very own celebration, because it simply isn't a Marbella-themed invitation. It's the feeling of a beautiful weekend in Spain captured on paper. There really is a particular kind of magic in the light there. So let's travel back in time to my 6 weeks spent in the beautiful Marbella and show you just how it inspired me in every single way. Marbella can be beautifully glamorous, but it also has softness, warmth and history, which is why I really love it here. One moment you can be wandering through narrow streets lined with traditional Spanish tiles, orange trees and flower-filled ceramic pots. The next you can be beside the water in Puerto Banús, surrounded by elegant restaurants, designer shops and gleaming yachts. It gives you the glamour and the excitement of a luxury destination, but it also gives you beauty, culture and an atmosphere that feels wonderfully relaxed. It can be stylish without being formal, playful without becoming predictable, and celebratory without losing its elegance. Imagine arriving with your closest friends and feeling the warmth of the Spanish sun as soon as you step outside. There are slow mornings over coffee, afternoons beside the pool, lunches that stretch far beyond their original plans, and evenings that begin with cocktails and seem to continue beneath the stars. You could spend part of the weekend wandering through Marbella's old town, taking photographs against the whitewashed streets and stopping to admire the details hidden around every single corner. Another day could be devoted entirely to sunshine, a beautiful pool, a beach club, your favourite bikini and nowhere else you need to be. Then there's Puerto Banús, with its marina, yachts and unmistakable sense of glamour, the perfect backdrop for dressing up, sharing dinner and celebrating the bride. Marbella allows a girls' weekend to have different moods. It doesn't have to be one big endless party, which is why I love it as a bachelorette destination. It can include laughter and cocktails, but also beautiful meals, quiet conversations and those unplanned moments that often become the best memories of the entire trip. That was the Marbella I really wanted to capture. I didn't want to create another generic destination invitation with a palm tree, a champagne glass and the name of the city added underneath. I wanted the design to feel as though it could only belong to Marbella. During my recent trip, I began paying close attention to the details around me. I looked at what I was repeatedly drawn to and what I continued to photograph and film. And the answer wasn't one grand landmark. It was a collection of the smaller visual memories, branches heavy with oranges, patterned Spanish tiles, blue ceramics, the movement of the sea, striped swimwear, drinks glowing in the afternoon light, and the elegant lines of the yachts in the marina. These became the foundation of my new Marbella Sun Collection. The first decision was the colour palette. For me, the two colours that most perfectly represent Marbella are cobalt blue and orange. Cobalt blue has the coolness of the Mediterranean and the elegance of traditional Spanish ceramics. It appears in decorative tiles, painted pots and little architectural details, always looking incredibly striking against the white walls. And then there's the orange, the warm, sunlit and full of life orange. It comes from the fruit hanging amongst deep green leaves, but it also brings to mind long afternoons, glowing sunsets, and of course the unmistakable colour of an Aperol Spritz. Together, cobalt blue and orange create a beautiful contrast. One is cool and refined and the other is warm and playful. They feel fresh and summery, but they also have enough sophistication to work for an elegant bachelorette celebration. I wanted the invitation to remain predominantly white, allowing the illustrations and typography to breathe. The cobalt blue became the defining line running through the entire design, while orange was introduced only in delicate, almost translucent splashes. I didn't want heavy blocks of colour. I wanted the orange to feel like sunlight had touched the paper. The blue needed to be equally controlled, strong enough to give the design identity, but fine enough to retain its sense of luxury. That restraint became essential to the final look. The next step was finding an illustration style that could bring every different element together. An orange branch and a Spanish tile are naturally elegant. A bikini, cocktail and yacht are more playful. If each had been illustrated in a different style, the design could easily have felt like a random collection of Marbella-themed objects. So I created everything with the same hand-drawn doodle effect. Each element appears to have been formed from one continuous cobalt blue line, as if I'd placed a pen on the page and allowed it to move without lifting it. The style is fluid, loose and intentionally imperfect. It was the spontaneity of sketches made while travelling, the kind of lines you might draw in a notebook while sitting in a cafe or looking out across the marina. That hand-drawn quality makes the invitation feel personal. Yet because the line is so fine and the colour palette so limited, the finished design still feels elegant and refined. The orange tree branch was the natural starting point. It sweeps gently on the upper corner with leaves, blossoms and fruit connected by delicate blue lines. The oranges are finished with the lightest wash of colour, giving them warmth without making them feel solid or overpowering. For me, this branch captures the most romantic side of Marbella. It represents the old streets, the hidden courtyards and the beautiful natural details that make you pause as you walk past. Opposite the branch, I added a cluster of Spanish-inspired tiles. Rather than placing a complete rigid rectangle of tiles on the invitation, I allowed the patterns to soften and fade as they move inward. Some lines are clear and complete, others gently disappear into the white space. It creates the impression that the tiles belong to a larger wall just beyond the edge of the invitation. The tiles bring history and Andalusian character. They give the invitation its sense of place. Then, as the eye travels down the design, the mood becomes slightly more playful. A striped bikini sits beside the bride's name, drawn in the same uninterrupted cobalt line. It immediately suggests sunshine, pool days, and the excitement of packing for a weekend away with friends. But because it is treated almost like a fashion sketch, it feels almost chic. It doesn't turn the invitation into a novelty design. Instead, it adds a wink of personality. Lower down, the Aperol Spritz introduces the atmosphere of those slow Marbella afternoons. The glass, ice, straw, and orange slice are all suggested through the same loose line work, with just a delicate touch of orange. It represents more than a cocktail. It evokes the feeling of sitting outdoors with your friends, letting lunch continue into the afternoon and having nowhere else you need to be. And finally, the yacht brings in the unmistakable glamour of Puerto Banus. Its long flowing shape anchors the bottom of the invitation, while the soft blue watercolour wash adds movement and suggests reflections from the sea. The yacht gives the collection aspiration and excitement. It promises that this isn't simply a weekend away, it's an experience. What makes the finish invitation work is the balance between these two sides of Marbella. The orange branch and Spanish tiles are traditional, romantic and elegant. The bikini, Aperol and yacht are youthful, celebratory and fun. Together, they tell the complete story of the destination. They say that this weekend can include beautiful streets and long lunches, poolside laughter and elegant dinners, old world charm and modern luxury. That balance also makes the collection incredibly versatile. It would suit a bride who wants a sophisticated celebration without losing the fun of a bachelorette weekend. The design doesn't rely on the usual slogans, bright pink graphics or predictable party icons. Instead, it creates excitement through atmosphere. The invitation becomes the first glimpse of the weekend that guests are about to experience. Before flights are booked or suitcases are packed, it allows them to imagine the sunshine, the setting, and the time they will share together. And this is what a beautiful invitation should do. It should never be merely a list of dates and details. It should create anticipation, it should establish the mood, and it should make every guest feel that something special is waiting for them. The Marbella Sun Collection can also travel far beyond the invitation itself. The Spanish tiles could frame an itinerary or a welcome sign. The orange branch could appear across menus, place cards and luggage tags. The bikini could mark the pool day plans. The Aperol illustration could become part of a cocktail menu. And the yacht could introduce an evening in Puerto Banús or a day on the water. By repeating the same fine line or colour palette and carefully chosen illustrations, every part of the weekend could feel connected. Even simple details, welcome notes in the hotel rooms, matching favour tags or personalised cards for each guest could become part of one cohesive Marbella story. That is the beauty of beginning with a strong invitation. It becomes the visual anchor for the entire celebration. This collection is incredibly special to me because it wasn't designed from an imagined version of Marbella. It came directly from being there. It grew from the things I noticed during my summer. The contrast of blue against white walls, the warmth of oranges on the trees, the elegance of Spanish patterns and the relaxed glamour of life beside the Mediterranean. Each doodle holds a fragment of that experience. And when those fragments are brought together, they capture something larger, the feeling of Marbella itself. A weekend there can be vibrant and exciting, but it also feels effortless. There is luxury, but there's also character. There are places to celebrate, but also beautiful spaces to slow down and simply enjoy being together. For a bride surrounded by her closest friends, that combination is difficult to beat. This isn't just a final destination for one big night. It is somewhere that you can give an entire collection of memories. A quiet morning coffee, a photograph beneath an orange tree, a striped bikini drying in the sunshine, the clink of ice in an Aperol Spritz, a walk through the old town, a yacht passing across the blue water, an elegant dinner as the evening light begins to soften. These are moments I wanted this invitation to hold. The Marbella Sun Collection is my way of gathering them together and translating them into a design that feels hand-drawn, sunlit and completely unique. It is elegant enough to honour the importance of the occasion, but playful enough to promise a truly fabulous bachelorette weekend. And perhaps that is Marbella's greatest appeal. It doesn't ask you to choose between sophistication and fun. It really just gives you both. I really hope that you enjoyed my Marbella trip and all the inspiration that I brought back to create this Marbella Sun Collection. It truly is a collection that's really, really special to me, and I hope you love it as much as I do. The full collection is now available to download, and I will leave that linked below, and you simply edit it to your own details and you are good to go. You can print it at home or print it with your local printer, so it could not be easier. I wish you many, many adventures and memories in the Marbella Sun. And if you love seeing how travel, real life experiences and nature can become something really beautiful, cohesive, party designs and collections, then please do just hit that little subscription button down below. It means the absolute world. It costs absolutely nothing to do, but it does show the YouTube algorithm that you are enjoying my content. So I really would appreciate that so much. I will also be showing much more of my designs that are inspired by my summer in Marbella, and I will be showing the design process from start to finish right here. But for now, this is the very beginning. A cobalt blue line, a soft splash of orange, and a collection of memories from under the Spanish sun. And of course, an invitation to an unforgettable weekend in Marbella. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.